So this video is called A Man with Only Part of a Head Telling a Story while playing the drum. So I heard on the news the other day, where most of the true things happen, that there was a congregation, an Orthodox church, where, as you may or may not know, many of the people involved in that church are Egyptian. This church's name was St. Mercurius, and was near the corner of streets at Torrance Boulevard and what was called Amy Avenue, in the South Bay areas of Los Angeles. Because of the recent tragedy in Egypt, there were some recognitions of some deaths and burials, circumstances where people were flown to this area with caskets and remains of bodies. And they took them to their congregation's burial land somewhere nearby, up here in the areas of more hilly countries of Palos Verdes and coastal areas of Vermont Hills. But they still let you bury people, and they brought some of their patriarchs there. A man who they called Patriarch Ebineezer. And after some words of the burial, the grief of the people could no longer be hidden, and it was understood that this Patriarch Ebeneezer could work miracles, and had been known to raise people from the dead. The grief of the congregation was heavy. The burial area was laid with beautiful incense, distributed with an ornamental censer by the priests of the church, St. Mercurius, the Orthodox Church. So after much deliberation, this Patriarch Ebeneezer, in his heart of hearts, had considered the weight of the various propositions and had agreed with some of the members of the church to perform a miracle by raising one of the dead from the dead.
Rise!
The congregation was just stifled, stiff, hushed, quiet. Patriarch Ebineezer scratched his head. One of the priests is seen to bring some of the holy water from the holy land and give it to the patriarch. And then she was to make another pass of this miracle. He sprinkled the water on the casket, on the face of dead. The censer was waved over the casket with great intensity, and a moment of lightning. Patriarch Ebineezer said,
Rise! Rise!
the congregation a bit worried. Patriarch Ebineezer asked for his cane, his staff, which had within it a fragment of the original cross, a holy relic, an original element of great power. And this time, on this gray day, some clouds and a little bit of mist. Patriarch Ebineezer pounded his cane, his staff, upon the burial box, upon this, and broke his staff and screamed,
Rise!
Women wept. You could hear lamenting and howling. To which Patriarch Ebineezer was to say to the crowd, while raising both his hands, "That's what I